On the phone with John Stankorb, the founder of Signs of Life, the American Pink Floyd and lead guitarist. John, how are you, John?
Good. How are you?
Good, John.
Good to talk
John,
to you.
I love doing that. Hey, we got the same name.
That's
Yeah, it's good to chat with you, my friend. I've seen you many times and met you a few times over the years, and looking forward to having you come to town with your fine band here at the Masonic Center on
yeah.
February the
Looking forward
ninth.
to it.
I got to say, you got one hell of a talented band. Signs of Life, the American Pink Floyd, and if you've never seen them, I know you guys have played around here quite a bit.
Yeah.
Um,
We're based in Cincinnati, but we've done quite a few shows in the Dayton area, Fraze Pavilion
right,
and Dayton Masonic Center. In fact, way back in the day, we played for the dearly departed Jerry Gelati at Gillies.
right,
We even did an acoustic, kind of an orchestral Floyd presentation at Canal Street Tavern back in
right,
2010.
right,
So, yeah, a lot of connections to Dayton, Hobart Arena.
right.
We've done
Yeah, I
three
think
or
you,
four
I think you
shows.
did
So that's fun.
phrase and yeah, but now your family, I think your parents like still live in Cincinnati, correct?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
and you're currently in Dallas, where it's not quite as
uh,
cold.
yeah.
Yeah,
I'm currently in Dallas, although with parents being elderly parents
right.
in the Ohio area, I'm going to be relocating back to the Ohio area
Gotcha. Oh,
this
okay.
spring, early summer. So
Okay.
that'll be good to be back with everybody. And so, yeah, it's the commute over the last 3 years has been real difficult. So,
Gotcha. I did it for a while there, Oklahoma City and back. So,
oh yeah,
yeah, kind of
you
a
know,
feel for it. So, are a lot
yeah.
of the musicians in Signs of Life, are they from this particular area, or do they come from all over?
Well, we get the two female vocalists in the group. They're both from the Dayton area.
Okay.
Uh, one's in Tip City, one's in Oakwood, and she's Julie's actually a teacher, our music uh, leader at Centerville Schools.
Oh, no kidding.
And yeah, and
Yeah.
then we have a lot of the guys in the band are from the Cincinnati area, and
Gotcha.
then keyboard player Tom is from Indiana, and our sound team is from Indiana. So
Gotcha.
it's kind of a tri-state region. We kind
Really?
of got it. Well, not Kentucky, but the
Yeah.
bi-state weekend or bi-state area,
Right.
Ohio.
Right. And people, if people, you think about it. I mean, here you guys are from, basically local tri-state area, but you play all over. It's a great to have
Yeah,
a local connection.
we've got I think 13 states that we've done so far
Yeah.
in total. I think the furthest that we've come south is we played Dallas at the Texas Motor Speedway
Right.
two falls ago, and then we did an East Coast tour that took us up in the Connecticut, New Hampshire area. So that was a
Gotcha.
lot of fun.
Yeah, it's good. Well, and I got to tell you, if you use the term group effort, I mean, I know you're basically the leader of the band, but this is one of
Yeah,
those things because when somebody does like tributes,
yeah,
I can't think of a harder one to do than Pink Floyd, obviously, and I'm
because
sure takes
yeah,
a very concerted effort from everybody in the band to make this work.
yeah. The good thing is you don't have to look like any of the members in the band, so there's no wigs or prosthetics or any of that kind of stuff. But
Right,
with the show, a lot of the tribute bands don't have to worry about a show per se.
right,
So we have the theatrical element to deal with as well as the musical thing, and then
right.
we're trying to span a range of 50 years of incredible music, from
Right.
1967 to present. So yeah, it's a real challenge
A lot to
to
choose from. Yeah, and I'm sure you have to constantly kind of keep practicing to
yeah,
keep on top
yeah,
of that.
yeah. You're always learning little. There's I wouldn't say that although we put on an amazing presentation, there's things that individually we're all learning all the time, like little nuanced things that maybe the audience wouldn't pick up on, but just
Right,
little things to. We don't feel like we're ready to phone it in and think, we're always trying to improve the show and bring,
right.
you know,
So
what,
go ahead. Sorry.
yeah, it's just a challenge to kind of continue to refine it and to
Right,
make it better and more interesting. And we've never done the same set list
right.
twice, so we're always redoing the show. And then our marketing guy and kind of our creative consultant, our creative head, Brian Vogel. is always doing cool artwork for each one of the shows, and
Right.
Vince, our producer of the show, is always looking at new video to add to the show. So we're always working on something new.
Right.
It's
Right.
never. I think it would be tough to be on the road, like say doing 150 shows a year, where the show is the same every night. That could be challenging, I
I've
think.
seen artists that have done that, and with the thousands of shows I think I've seen through the years for different artists, that sometimes you'll go to a show and you go like, you know what, I saw him like 6 months ago in Chicago, and it's the same show, and you can almost
Yeah,
tell what they're going to do next. And I'd imagine for some artists, the same stuff over and over, it can get pretty redundant. But that's the thing about, say, like Signs of Life, for folks who have seen them and know what a great show it is. Well, I've seen it, but well, go see them again, because it'll be a little bit different. You'll, like you said, you'll pick up on
yeah,
things you might not have seen before.
yeah. I mean, obviously, there's other groups that are doing exactly what we're doing, and they will go nameless because I don't need to name who they are, but
Right.
the fact that we're compared to those guys is a real honor.
Yeah.
Some people think, do you ever get irritated that somebody is, preferring one group over another?
Right.
Some might prefer us, some might prefer the other groups, but the fact that we're a group of folks from the Midwest
Right.
that are been around for 10 years, and we're competing with
Sure.
an act that has a multi-million-dollar budget. So
Right.
we've been very blessed to even be mentioned in the same breath with some of those acts. So
Exactly.
what for us or prefer them, I mean, as long as neither one of us are the real Pink Floyd, we're just really honored to go out and to put on the best show we can. And fortunately for me, I've been very incredibly blessed to meet some of the folks from the Pink Floyd camp.
Right.
I'm friends with Ginger Gilmore and Matt Gilmore, and I've spent some time in London this past fall with Tim Rennick and Jay Stapley, some of the folks that toured with the Pink Floyd, and also I'm playing in a band now with Scott Page. He toured with Pink Floyd, and Roberta Freeman, she's one of the vocalists from the Pink Floyd. So I've been very fortunate to kind of be in the inner circle of some of those folks, and it's a real
Right.
blast to be able to, play with them and hear the stories about them, just become
Sure.
good friends with them. And when you're in London, especially in and around some of the places where the Pink Floyd grew up and made their mark on the world,
Mm-hmm.
there is a vibe there that you totally get the Pink Floyd experience when you're there. I was on the River Thames right across from David Gilmour's houseboat studio, and there's such a vibe there.
Wow.
It really is like if you were a blues guy and you went down to Mississippi, you would feel that same thing,
Right.
that same
Exactly.
energy.
Mm-hmm.
And being in London, it's just, man, that Pink Floyd thing is very, very present. And we're really trying to do the best, even though we're the American Pink Floyd, we're really trying to do a British
Right.
take on the show. So we're really not talking to the audience or
Right.
grandstanding. We're really trying to get out of the way of ourselves and just do the best immersive Pink Floyd show we can.
Right. Well, and that's it. I mean, you are not Pink Floyd, and your job is to make people feel like they're at that, and you can perform just as well as they can, maybe in some instances. And it's like you just want people to walk out going, "I had the experience. I had the Pink Floyd experience."
Yeah. If Roger Waters has taught us anything, he's taught us that no one person is Pink Floyd.
Right.
Pink Floyd is it's a concept every bit as much as it is a band, because when Sid left and Roger kind of took the reins, that was one version, and then when he left and David took over, that was another version. So no one person, I think, could be this. It's really a concept.
Right.
I think it's about theater of the mind.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's trying to get you into that headspace. So if you're fortunate enough to have the audience come along with you for that 2.5-hour journey, without breaking the spell, you've really done something special. And we're 10 years. I think is not a huge deal in some businesses, but in a band, I think better than anybody.
Yes, sir.
You probably know thousands of musicians. 10
Right.
years with a group of musicians is really unheard of. And I always say to folks that will listen that all 16 folks on the team, we love each other dearly as friends. And if we never played a note of music with one another, we'd love to just spend time with each other because we just have that kind of respect and camaraderie. And when you get 16 people to pull in the same or push in the same direction, you can do some amazing things because it's really not about any one person. It's just about what we can do together.
Exactly. There's that group effort again, no doubt about that. John Stancorb with us, of course, the leader of Signs of Life and fine guitar player, and I've had the pleasure of seeing you guys a few times too, including the Masonic Center there this past year, and which is a great venue. It really is to see a show.
It's really a great sounding room, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I look forward to that. The fact that you guys are playing that particular room again because there's so much history in that building, and I don't know if I upset this sound guy or somebody before, but I mentioned the fact that there's a ghost, and I thought, well, why can't I think of a better place to play? Here, listen to Pink Floyd is in a place that has all this history with a roaming ghost, and it's just to me that's just as Floydian as you can be, I suppose.
There's a real vibe there too. You get the sense of it, and I think the photos that I saw afterwards of the show look great. As much as I like to do a phrase pavilion or an outdoor show, I really think our show translates best in a theater. And this was as fine a one as we've played in, and so we're really looking forward to it. There's definitely a vibe there.
Mm-hmm.
We have so many great Dayton friends and fans and family and all
exactly.
that.
It's a group family effort, and that's even when you're performing, the people that are in the audience, some relate to you, and that's what makes it entertaining. And not to mention, you're comparing it like to other bands. Your ticket prices are a lot more affordable. For a show like this too, which helps.
I think our tickets are less expensive than the actual price to park at some of those other ones.
Right.
So exactly. We're always trying to be aware of that as a
exactly free parking too, by the
way.
There's and Pink Floyd, will remain relevant, I think, forever. I mean, I was just reading today about Rick Wright's '80s side project Z, due out in May, a reissue of that. David Gilmour, I was just reading, he's like auctioning off 120 of his guitars. Which for charity, incredible. You gonna try and get one of those?
I would love to get, but I kind of know roughly what they'll go for. And when a single guitar is probably going to go upwards of half or quarters of $1,000,000.
Especially that black Strat.
I do. I'm very excited though. I am actually having there's a guy that is in London. It's a friend of mine. His father-in-law grew up with Tim Rennick, who toured with Pink Floyd, and was actually played on stage with Pink Floyd at Live Aid the very last time that they ever played together as a group. But Tom is actually building a guitar. He's a London guitar maker, but he's building a guitar based on David Gilmour's number one, the guitar that has the serial number 0001. He's building a David Gilmour-esque guitar based on that particular one. So I'm hoping to, with any luck, I'll have it I don't think I'll have it for this show. It's 3 months in the process of being made, but I'm hoping to have it for our show in March.
Okay.
So, but yeah, I would love to have one of David Gilmour's original guitars, but having a custom-made David Gilmour style guitar is a pretty good second.
Right on. I totally agree. Well, it's all part of the Dayton Masonic Center Winter Concert Series. Before I let you go, though, you just this past recently were in L.A. For this, and we were talking about it briefly before we actually started doing this podcast, that this Pink Floyd experience and all that, and I was like, I wasn't sure what it was about. Then I started looking at all the stuff here, and wow, this is pretty cool. And to be part of this is kind of a neat thing. Go ahead and explain to our listeners what exactly happened.
Yeah, Scott Page toured with Pink Floyd
saxophone
on their Momentary Lapse of Reason tour, and he's also toured with Toto and Supertramp. He actually grew up with the guys in Toto. He grew up in the L.A. area, but he put together this concept of a thing called a Pink Floyd experience, and he assembled a bunch of different players from L.A. It's the drummer from Jane's Addiction, the bass player from Fishbone, guitar player from Kid Rock, and a wide variety of other L.A. notable folks.
Some guitar player from Cincinnati.
Some guitar player, yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody was kind of a ringer, somebody that knew the songs inside out. That could sing the Roger and David stuff as well as play guitar, and also kind of orchestrate the rehearsals. Because a lot of the folks in this group are coming from different tours and different projects, so they don't really have time to study the Floyd stuff. So we got together and did a show in July at the Peppermint Club in Hollywood, and we had the vocalist that had toured with Roger Waters on his Wall tour, a guy named Robbie Wyckoff. Robbie's currently the singer for a group called Pablo Cruz, so he's not been able to take part in the other shows. So I've been the lead vocalist on all the songs. But the concept was to put together a group of musicians that would go out and kind of reinterpret the Pink Floyd stuff a little bit. It's nowhere near as exact as what we do, but that's not their intention. It's more kind of an esoteric reading. I mean, the songs sound like the songs, but there's some liberties that are taken with the songs. But it was tying that to a very immersive virtual reality,
multi-sensory experience kind of thing.
Yes, it's
digital
definitely
art.
A multi-sensory experience. So you're sitting inside a dome and you're reclining in these chairs, and I can't even begin to, on the radio, describe how big this dome is. But if you see any photos of this thing, it's pretty intense. And
it's huge.
As you're the video and listening to the music, you kind of get pulled into the actual presentation, if you will, because it feels like it's sucking you in, because as it's moving, it feels like the floor is moving up into the ceiling. It's quite a lot.
So this isn't like a laser show. This is, I mean, I'm looking at the pictures. This is definitely more in depth.
Yeah, it's not, it makes lasers look very tame by comparison.
Kind of 3D art. Yeah.
Yeah, and then they also have some artists there that are creating this art in real time. There's a guy that's like painting as the thing is happening. And they have some exhibits and displays. It's just amazing stuff. It's a very LA thing. I'll just say that. It's very, very exciting, very creative, and of course, the fragrance in the air is quite aromatic, let's say, which is a completely, being a Midwest guy, it's kind of strange to have it. So, I mean, it's always been prevalent in our shows, but
right.
Everywhere I go in Studio City, I smell it everywhere.
Gotcha.
People are out on sidewalk patios eating lunch and rolling something or smoking something. So it's a brave new world out there.
That is an experience, and those are, from what I heard, just keep selling out every time they do one of these. So it's kind of a cool show. Did they ever think about maybe taking something like that on the road?
Well, we're actually, believe us or not, we're actually headlining a music festival in Hungary in July, at the end of July, and then after that we go to Kiev and Moscow, because Moscow actually has these domes there already. I think they're one of the first places to have these domes. So we're doing Hungary, Kiev, and Moscow with this presentation, which that's kind of exciting.
That answers my question there.
Yeah, so there's a guy named Gowdy who works with a group called The Orb, kind of doing electronic ambient music, and he'll be performing with us. And he plays kind of in between the songs and does these kind of electronic, really cool segues between the songs.
Yeah.
I had no idea just how wildly popular that form of music is, especially in Europe. He's actually kind of a worldwide sensation in the EDM thing. His name is Daniel Gowdy, but he goes by Gowdy's.
Gotcha. Okay.
Italian musician that lives in Camden, London, which I'll be seeing him in a few weeks. But great guy, and he'll be joining us on that particular leg of shows. So we're really looking for. I'm not sure how many shows we'll do. I know we're headlining this music festival, and the idea that when I put this thing together in 2009 and played for 300 people at our very first show, if you would have told me then, 10 years later, I would be doing that, the band would be flourishing, and I would be playing with some of the folks that have toured with Pink Floyd and getting to know some of the folks in the Pink Floyd camp. I would have said, that's highly unlikely. But so
inside the wondrous new Wisdom Art Park, man, that sounds like an experience.
Right. Yeah, I'm very blessed, I must say.
Cool. John Stankorb, Signs of Life guitarist and, of course, leader of the band. And how many people did you say was in the band? Like 15, 16?
Well, there's 8 musicians.
Okay.
And then equally as important
course,
the
yes.
other 8
Right.
folks. So we have
That are there for the experience, to put on the experience. Yes.
yeah, the lighting, a
Right.
couple lighting folks, and then we have folks that are working on the video, and then we have folks that are the audio portion of it, and
Yep.
and then we have Brian, who's on our marketing team. So if anybody has seen us through social media or enjoyed any of our posters or the
Right.
website or any of the photos, you have Brian to thank for that, because he really just has a meticulous eye for that sort of thing. And
Right.
yeah, he's quite an incredible asset. So I consider everybody
Right.
on stage or off to be equally important, because it's all, it really is a like
Group
you say,
effort.
a
Yep.
group effort.
It's not just a musical show, that's for sure.
That's right. Yeah, and it's family.
Yeah.
It's important. I think that's the reason for the longevity is in the 10 years we've never really had any.
Right. And
any
the reason I said that, like last time when I was there, I was back in the backstage area before the show at Masonic Center, and you guys were all back there. I mean, most of the group, and just like always being there, you guys were just back there laughing and joking, and I was like, "Hey, how you doing? Where's your bathroom?" But I mean, yeah, you guys were just like me. Everybody was loose, and it was like, boy, you could just tell this is going to be a good show.
Yeah.
It wasn't like one of those backstage things where everybody's like, okay, what's he doing back here? It's like everybody's, hey, you want some food?
Yeah.
Help yourself. So
Everybody
anyway.
is. We can. This is such a family bond.
Yeah.
I mean, we just, because it really is a team effort. I mean, it takes a team of folks to promote the show, and you're very graciously helping us promote the show.
Sure.
And yeah, we consider you family. Hope to see you backstage.
Yeah, we will be back there. Yeah, rain or shine. I was, like I said, I was there for the Eagles thing in the snow, and I just had rotator cuff surgery, so count on me being there.
Yeah, I remember. I think the first time I met you was our first Hobart Arena show, and I came into the studio and had an interview, and
Yeah.
we became fast friends then. So
Yeah, you're a good guy, man, and you're very talented. The band is very talented, and I just can't stress enough that if people are thinking about coming to the show, you're guaranteed to walk out of there going, wow. Because I remember that last time. It was like people walking out going, holy crap. So
yeah.
Anyway,
it's awesome.
that is coming up February 9th at the Dayton Masonic Center, the Winter Concert Series. Now, if people want tickets, DaytonMasonicCenter.org. On-site parking. We'll get you in, get you out, put in a great show, and I guess I'll be
and also one added thing that we didn't have last year, which I think will be really enticing, is that it's such a beautiful venue that our first show there, they weren't doing alcohol in the venue, but they've come up with these really cool cups that are spill-proof. So now I guess they did that at the first show this season.
Yep, they did.
You can bring your beverage of choice in whatever you purchase.
Yep.
I should say.
Yeah.
Whatever beverage you purchase, you can bring into the venue. So that's kind of nice.
Yeah, I think probably last time people were like, what do you mean you can't have a beer? What's up with that? So
yeah,
good point.
Yeah, you kind of like, it's nice to have a rock and roll show. It's kind of nice to have a little beer,
especially on a Saturday night. All right,
on a Saturday night, you can't beat it.
John Stancorb of Signs of Life. Thanks, my friend, and we'll see you there at the show. Maybe we'll get to hang for a few minutes, and good luck getting here. Bring some of that warm weather from Texas with you. And
it sure will, my friend.
All right, man. We'll see you.
Thanks so much.